It's Saturday the 1st of June, it's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme. And in the news this week, 2024 marks the 40th year of Volunteers Week, and Volunteers Week runs this week from the 3rd to the 9th of June. Now, Volunteer Centre Dorset will join hundreds of charities and voluntary organisations across Dorset, recognising the contribution that volunteers make this coming week. The contribution of volunteers is often unseen and unrecognised by many, so taking the time during Volunteers Week to celebrate their efforts and all they contribute to our local communities, the voluntary sector and society is perhaps never more important than now. Now, Marie Waterman, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Volunteer Centre Dorset, has said volunteering is an act of kindness that reaches into many aspects of our lives, but we just might not recognise it. It is thanks to the thousands of volunteers who give their time every day that our environment, schools, courts, sports clubs and emergency services such as the police and RNLI benefit from this help, and organisations can continue to provide the wonderful and necessary services that they do. We are proud to be part of something so special and would like to thank everyone who gives their time and knowledge freely to make Dorset a better place. And that was from Marie Waterman, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Volunteer Centre Dorset. Now, Volunteers Week, we want to remind everyone that volunteering is not just working in charity shops or standing on the high street shaking a bucket. There are so many ways to get involved and to volunteer, from helping out at one-off events, dipping in and out as a community volunteer, doing some shopping or mowing the lawn for somebody, or a role that's longer term and more involved, such as helping as a scout leader or with another charity. Lots of people choose to volunteer with an organisation that is close to their heart, where there is an emotional connection. Now, no matter how you help, it makes a difference to someone's life. There's good evidence that volunteering is not only good for the community, but it also helps the people who volunteer. The saying, doing good does you good, really does apply here. Volunteering improves your mental health and well-being. It can be the reason for somebody to get out of the house, connect with their community, learn new skills and make connections and try new things. Now, particularly if you live on your own at home, then this is an opportunity to get out and mix with people and make new friends, as well as supporting your community. Now, some stats released by the UK Civil Society Almanac. It's statistics from 2020, but they were recently released. 16.3 million people volunteered through a group, club or organisation in the year 2020-2021. People volunteer in different ways, reflecting their lifestyles, values and priorities. The way they get involved has changed and changed over the pandemic. So there we go. That's Volunteer Week this week. If you want to volunteer and look at opportunities, just go on the web and search for Volunteer Centre Dorset. And as an organisation, they will connect you with lots and lots of organisations and provide you with training and all sorts of other things that you might need. Now, free boat rides are being offered to commemorate the D-Day 80 celebrations. Weymouth Town Council is teaming up with Coastline Cruises to offer free boat trips from Weymouth to Portland on 4 dates in June, highlighting the crucial role this region played in the D-Day operations during World War II. To mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the free boat tours are available for Weymouth residents living in DT3 and DT4 postcode, subject to availability, and will depart from Weymouth Harbour, providing local people with the opportunity to reflect on the significance of D-Day while enjoying the picturesque coastal scenery. The cruises will take place on the 6th and 7th of June, 8th and 9th of June, with multiple departures throughout to accommodate as many people as possible. And now Kevin Jones, who's from Coastline Cruises, said, "We are honoured to be making the MV My Girl available to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Operation Overlord D-Day. As part of this special occasion, Coastline Cruises is offering locals complimentary return boat cruises from Weymouth to Portland. Now, My Girl, the boat they used, provided vital military service during World War II and will provide an exceptional experience for passengers as they journey to Portland. By offering the free cruises, they hope to provide a memorable experience for the local community while honouring the legacy of those who participated in D-Day. Now, Myga was requisitioned by the Army for war service in 1939. She faithfully served Weymouth and Portland during the war years, carrying troops, ammunition and supplies to the breakwater forts in Portland Harbour. She carried 250,000 men and covered some 20,000 sea miles. So there we go. If you would like to book one of the free tours, you can email dday@coastlinecruises.com, giving your preferred date and your postcode, and they will get back to you. There we go. Now, a sensory courtyard garden is being created at Dorset County Hospital thanks to £45,204 grant from the Greener Communities Fund. Dorset County Hospital's sustainability team applied for the funding to turn a disused courtyard opposite the special care dentistry into a sensory courtyard garden for patients, staff and visitors to use. The Greener Communities Fund supports the creation or improvement of green spaces to benefit the health and well-being of people with limited access to green space. Dorset County Hospital is committed to maximising the positive social value impact that it has on local communities, and the Trust will be working with local organisations Kingston Moorwood College, Dorchester Men's Shed and Little Green Change on the planting plan for the garden area, which will also include new doors, and the ground will be made level so it has disabled access. Joe Howarth, Director of Nursing at Dorset County Hospital, said, "Whether you're a patient, staff member or visiting a loved one, it's important to be able to step away from the busy and sometimes overwhelming hospital environment and take a moment. We also know that nature can have a positive impact on people's physical and mental health and aid recovery. So we're looking forward to creating this new space." And now the garden is due to open later this year. So we look forward to that. Now, demolition has begun at Holly Court, Weymouth, the site of the former retirement homes, following issues with the roof caused during storm damage in 2022 during Storm Eunice, and latterly removal of asbestos from the property. It's now empty, and demolition started this week to make way for a new development. It's been announced that free parking dates have been selected to support events that will run in Weymouth. Events including Beach Motocross, Remembrance Sunday and the Christmas Lights Switch On have been selected for free parking by Weymouth Town Council. The events take place on the following dates. So Sunday the 20th of October, Weymouth and Portland Lions Club will be doing their Beach Motocross. Sunday the 10th of November, Remembrance Sunday Service and Parade. These will all have free parking. Saturday the 30th of November, the town's Christmas Lights Switch On event. And in addition, a fourth date is also agreed, and this was before these dates were selected, and that is Armed Forces Day, which is Sunday the 23rd of June. So that was agreed in advance. Dorset Council also offered a further date for free to support Small Business Saturday, which is usually held in December. And now Small Business Saturday is there to support small local businesses and encourage people to use their local shops. So that will give people the opportunity to get into Weymouth and park free of charge and support their local shops. Now, Dorset County Hospital again, this time delighted to announce that over £100,000 has been raised by the DCH 100 team taking part in the Jurassic Coast Challenge, which was held on the 18th and 19th of May. It was organised by Ultra Challenge Group. With over 50 participants walking or running sections of the 100-kilometre route in support of Dorset County Hospital, the event has now raised over £100,000 for the DCH Emergency and Critical Care Appeal. A further £4,000 for other wards and departments has also been raised, with more donations still expected. The DCH 100 team was led by former DCH consultant Michael Dooley and included a number of people who took on the full 100-kilometre distance of this landmark footpath from Corfe Castle to Bridport. This incredible feat was achieved by the majority of the team despite the length and physical challenges of the route. After the race, Michael Dooley said, "It was a true ultra challenge for the body, mind and inner self. The experience reaffirmed to me the importance of teamwork. The support staff were phenomenal. Their enthusiasm, encouragement, flapjacks, dry clothes and unwavering assistance throughout the day and night were crucial to our success. Now, appeal officer Mary J. Atwood said, the weather on Saturday made the challenge even harder, with a deluge of torrential rain in the evening before their long overnight haul. We have nothing but total respect and admiration for the sheer tenacity of the participants, all whom put their personal lives on hold to train for and complete in the Ultra Challenge. The amount raised will make a huge difference to the appeal and to all the people who will be treated in the new emergency department and critical care unit. The appeal patron, who is Kate Adey, was also there at the finishing point to welcome the runners and walkers safely home. Now, there's still time to support the teams and help raise even more money for the emergency and critical care appeal. You can go to www.justgiving.com/campaign/DCH100. If you want to find out more about the appeal, you can go to www.dchcharity.org.uk. That's www.dchcharity.org.uk. Officers from Dorset Police are appealing for witnesses or anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward following a serious injury road traffic collision in Weymouth. Dorset Police received a report at just after 4 p.m. on Thursday, the 30th of May, of a collision in Buxton Road involving a black Nissan Micra and a black Yamaha motorcycle. Emergency services attended and the motorcyclist, a local man aged in his 20s, was taken to hospital for treatment to injuries that were believed to be serious but not life-threatening. The driver of the Nissan, a woman aged in her 50s from Portland, did not sustain any injuries. Road closures were put in place as the emergency services responded and were lifted at around 6 p.m. Sergeant Lee Savage of the Roads Policing Team said, "We are carrying out inquiries as we seek to establish the full circumstances of this collision, and I would urge any witnesses who have not already spoken to the police to please come forward. I also appeal for anyone with dashcam fitted to their vehicle who was driving in the area around the time of the collision to please review their footage to see if they captured anything that might be of assistance." And as usual, you can contact Dorset Police by calling 101 or anonymously through the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. The Department of Transport has approved funding for accessibility improvements to Dorchester South Railway Station. This significant investment will enhance the travel experience for passengers, particularly with those with disabilities or mobility challenges. The announcement came this week as it was confirmed as part of an announcement of works at 50 stations overall across England, Scotland and Wales that work would be funded at Dorchester South Station. The funding for all of these stations totals £350 million, and it was confirmed following the reallocation of funds from the High Speed 2 or HS2 project. The Access for All programme was launched in 2006 to address the challenges faced by disabled passengers and those with mobility restrictions when using railway stations. By making stations more accessible, the aim is to create a more inclusive and convenient travel experience for everyone. Dorset Chamber President Steve Bully said, "I'm delighted that Dorchester South Railway Station will benefit from this funding. It's a positive step forward for a more inclusive rail transport hub in the county town. Railway stations need to be accessible to all passengers, and this funding will make a real difference in the lives of those who rely on railway services to and from Dorchester." Now, staying with the trains, a new summer timetable has been issued by Great Western Railway, GWR, and it starts tomorrow. The new timetable sees the return of weekday superfast services between London, Paddington and South Wales for the first time since March 2020, the doubling of midday capacity from London, Paddington to Plymouth, and additional services on the corridor between London, Paddington and Bristol, as well as additional services to summer holiday destinations. GWR Managing Director Mark Hopwood said, "We are continuing to work closely with our industry partners to improve performance and capacity so that we can deliver the services our customers expect. Services that help to support the local and regional economy and connect people to work, to schools and colleges, to friends and family, and some of the best leisure destinations in the UK. Starting this weekend, there will also be seasonal changes to trains to reflect summer demand, and the good news here is these include additional services between Bristol and Weymouth, extra services between Paddington and Newquay, and trains extended to serve the popular Pembroke Dock, starting from London Paddington, as well as many other alterations. Details of service changes and these new services and extended services are available on the GWR Journey Check service. So if you go onto Google and search for GWR Journey Check service, you will be able to get those details. Now, a Weymouth resident has shared the story of his father's experiences of D-Day. Weymouth resident Ian Brooks, who is a volunteer at the Nose Fort, has a very personal connection to D-Day. Ian says, "My father Victor was a linesman in the Royal Corps of Signals and he landed on the Normandy beach, codenamed Sword. But his extraordinary journey to get there began early in 1939 at the tender age of 19 when he joined the Territorial Army in Glossop, Derbyshire. Almost immediately he was posted to France as part of the British Expeditionary Force. Early in 1940, somewhere north of Paris, his unit was ordered south and they missed the evacuation of Dunkirk. He marched, walked, stole a bike and catch lifts all the way to Saint-Nazaire on the Loire estuary, where troop ships were to pick them up and return them to England. There he boarded an ex-Cunard liner, HMT Lancastria. Still with all his kit, including greatcoat, blanket, rifle, helmet and all the webbing he was issued with, because as a 19-year-old he was terrified of losing anything, as the quartermaster might make him pay for it. Unfortunately, the ship was bombed and sank within 23 minutes, with a loss of 5,000 lives. He was pulled from the water 3 hours later wearing just one sock and a wristwatch. On June the 6th, 1944, at about 0600, he went back to France near Ostreham, Normandy, carrying a Lee Enfield Mark IV rifle and a reel of telephone cable, which he was eventually connected to the airborne troops at Pegasus Bridge. Now, Ian volunteers at the Nose Fort, and a spokesman from the Nose Fort said the fort would not be what it is without exceptional volunteers, and we are beyond lucky to have such a dedicated community of volunteers, many of whom have long-lasting connections with Weymouth and the fort itself, such as Ian." Now, if you want to read more about Ian's story about his father, you can have a look in today's Dorset Evening Echo, or Dorset Echo, and if you want to learn more about the Nose Fort, you can pop along to their website at www.nosefort.org.uk. Now, First Wessex by First Bus South is proud to announce it is the official transport partner for Weldmar Hospice's Stampede by the Sea Art Trail. Stampede by the Sea will raise funds for Weldmar Hospice Care, which provides specialist end-of-life care for local adults with a life-limiting illness and support for their loved ones. First Wessex famous Jurassic coaster routes X51, X52 and X53 will serve the trail, allowing an easy way for people to enjoy it car-free. The trail will take place in spring 2025 across Bridport, West Bay and Lyme Regis, and will feature 30 elephants, each designed and painted by talented artists. And you can see one up there on the screen. James Eustace, who's First Bus South commercial director, said, "Working as transport partner for Stampede by the Sea further cements our commitment to the communities we serve in Dorset. We're proud to be supporting Weldmar Hospice Care in the vital work it does through this exciting trail. Working together, we want to encourage people to choose the bus as their preferred method of travel, supporting people where they can to use public transport to access Stampede by the Sea Art Trail." Carolyn Hambert, Weldmar Hospice CEO, said, "We're absolutely delighted to have First Wessex on board as our transport partner at Stampede by the Sea. The support of the local business community will be absolutely fundamental in making it a success. It's going to be a big, fun and exciting, just like the iconic Jurassic coaster bus, which we've all seen driving along the coastal routes of Dorset. We look forward to bringing significant numbers of people into the area to follow our amazing art trail. Dorset Council has been joined by local businesses and community groups last week to launch a new photo exhibition that celebrates the steps organisations are taking to help tackle climate change in the county. The Our Journey to Net Zero exhibition features a collection of inspiring images that tell the stories of local organisations who, with the help of the council's Low Carbon Dorset programme, are helping reduce the county's carbon footprint. 13 Dorset-based organisations feature in this exciting new exhibition, each telling their own story of how they're cutting emissions and becoming more sustainable. The exhibition is free to visit and will be touring the county through the summer. It will be on display in the likes of Sherborne Abbey, Bridport Arts Centre, Dilston Country Park and lots of other venues across Dorset. Now, for a full list of where and when to view it, you can visit the Dorset Council website. All the organisations featured in the exhibition were supported through Low Carbon Dorset, a support programme set up by Dorset Council to provide free advice and grants to help Dorset organisations carry out energy saving and renewable energy projects. More information on the programme and the support still available can be found on www.lowcarbondorset.org.uk. Now, finally, in the news headlines tonight, Weymouth Town Council is inviting residents to come and see the recently revamped Radipole Park Gardens at a fun day on Saturday the 15th of June, which will also mark the official opening. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the park on Radipole Park Drive and features performances by the Quangle Wangle Choir and the Weymouth Ukuleleans, who will also be doing workshops on how to play the ukulele. There will be free sports coaching and taster sessions on the new courts, followed by speeches at 12 p.m. to mark the official opening. Several stalls will be there, including Hedgehog Friendly Portland and Dorset Wildlife Trust, plus there will be free face painting for children. People will be able to look around the park and learn more about its history and explore a nature trail. Weymouth Town Council, working in partnership with the Friends of Radipole Park Gardens, received just over £1 million to enhance the park and gardens from the National Lottery Heritage Fund. Also, there will be a new refreshment kiosk with a seating area and toilet facilities, and a renewed pathway has also been added through the park, providing a scenic route for leisurely walks. Now, the free sports sessions that are available will include taster sessions of mini ballers football, table tennis, petang, basketball, tennis and pickleball. No bookings required and equipment will be provided. All ages are welcome to join in the front. So the launch event is free and open to the public. So that is Saturday the 15th of June. Now that brings the headlines to an end for this week. It's now time in this week's programme to go over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Dune Part 2 was released on home video. The film is the second half of director Denis Villeneuve's two-part adaptation of Frank Herbert's sci-fi epic book Dune. The film stars Timothée Chalamet as the exiled Duke Paul Atreides, who unites with the Fremen people of the desert planet Arrakis to wage war against House Harkonnen. The film was released in cinemas in February to box office success and positive reviews from critics and audiences. So I liked the first film. I thought it was, it was something new and interesting. I've never read the books. And I'm a fan of the director's films Arrival and Blade Runner 2049. Which, other than Dune, are the only ones of his I've seen, but I really like those films. And watching it on Blu-ray was my first time watching the film, because I didn't see it in cinema. But I was massively disappointed by Dune Part 2. I thought the film was shot really well, and the soundtrack is good, but sound mix. The film just looks and sounds incredible. But at the core of the film, the script is just disjointed and boring, and the film is really immensely overacted, and Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya have no chemistry whatsoever. Honestly, I just ended up not really caring by the end of the film. And so it's just, I give the film 2.5 stars out of 5. A sequel, Dune Messiah, is in development, but that's kind of been slowed down. And it'll be Denis Villeneuve's last Dune film. Also released on home video this week was Madam Web, the 4th film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. The film is the origin story of Cassie Webb, played by Dakota Johnson, who starts getting precognitive abilities, which she uses to try and protect 3 teenage girls who are being targeted because they become Spider Women in the future. The film also stars Sydney Sweeney, Isabel Merced, Celeste O'Connor, Tahir Rahim, and Adam Scott. Now, the film was released in cinemas in February to negative reviews from critics, and audiences were very 50-50 on it, and it underperformed at the box office. And I saw it in cinemas in February, and I was more positive in my review of the film than most of the critics were. I thought, because I rewatched it this week, and I thought, the script is weak, but I like the directing, I like the camera work, I like the look of the film, and I just enjoyed it. You don't really it's not a film you have to massively overthink. It's just, a popcorn film. So I do recommend checking it out. I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. I know that's not, a high rating compared to what I've been rating in previous weeks, but it's still, it's still enjoyable. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be reviewing Bad Boys Ride or Die, the 4th installment in the Will Smith's Bad Boys franchise, as well as the home video release of the Blumhouse horror film Imaginary. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Sir Andrew, and we'll be back with Andrew next week. It's time in the programme now for the national weather forecast, and we go to the Met Office, and this week we are joined by Marco Patagna.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Marco Patagna. Here's your latest weather update from the Met Office. We've got a lot of fine and settled weather in store across the UK this weekend, thanks to high pressure dominating. And certainly this afternoon, apart from a bit of patchy cloud across parts of England into parts of Wales, which might just about squeeze out the odd light shower, it's generally set fair, lots of sunshine around. Probably the clearest skies across parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, and across the far south of England too. In that sunshine across the south, we could see temperatures up to 21, possibly locally even 22 Celsius, so into the low 70s in Fahrenheit. And even towards the north there, through the central belt, 20 degrees. In Glasgow, 68 Fahrenheit is pretty decent for the time of year. As we head into the evening and during the overnight period, the clouds and any showers across the far south will tend to fade away, so lots of dry and fairly clear weather developing across the bulk of the UK as we head into the overnight period, allowing 1 or 2 mist or fog patches to form by Sunday morning, and notice too by Sunday morning some outbreaks of rain just approaching the far northwest of the UK. Town and city temperatures hold up quite well tonight. They're generally near 2 double figures, but in rural spots it could turn quite chilly. Could see temperatures into low single figures by Sunday morning, so a touch of frost certainly possible in 1 or 2 rural spots. As we head into Sunday itself, notice those outbreaks of rain across the far northwest of the UK starting to push a little bit further in across the north and west of Scotland into parts of Northern Ireland too as we head through the day on Sunday. But elsewhere it's set fair still with high pressure generally in control, so the east and southeast of Scotland and particularly parts of England and Wales seeing lots of sunshine, and once again temperatures doing quite well in that sunshine. Could see highs a little bit higher than they were on Saturday, up to 23 or even 24 degrees down towards the southeast. That's into the mid 70s in Fahrenheit, whereas towards the north and northwest a bit cooler, certainly where that cloud and rain is pushing in from off the Atlantic, and turning quite breezy here too, so we'll start to feel a bit cooler certainly than it did on Saturday. Into the evening on Sunday, there's outbreaks of rain across the north and northwest. Will continue to slip the way southeastwards across the rest of Scotland, into the rest of Northern Ireland and approaching parts of Northern England too by the end of the evening, whereas across the rest of England and Wales we'll hold on to a lot of dry and fairly clear weather, allowing those temperatures to start to fall away again. That's pretty much it for me, but of course you can keep tuned to the Met Office forecast by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Marco, for the weekend weather forecast from the Met Office. Looking at the local weather for this week ahead, milder It looks like it's going to be drier as well. Might be a bit cloudy at times, but we've got the sun and sunny spells this week, with tomorrow being the warmest day currently planned. So a bit better than it has been recently. Now it's time for our What's On. We have got, first of all, Weymouth Pavilion. We've got the McCartney Songbook tomorrow, 2nd of June. Arrival, the hits of ABBA, 7th of June. D-Day Darlings, the 13th of June. They're doing a tour all the way around the country at the moment. Been a lot of publicity about them. Rob Lambretti presents Perfectly George. That's the music of George Michael on the 15th of June. Big Girls Don't Cry on the 20th of June. Rumours of Fleetwood Mac on the 26th of June. And Celine, My Heart Will Go on the 11th of July. So lots of good stuff coming up. There's a lot more than I've just mentioned there. There literally is at least one thing every day, if not more. So do pop along to the Pavilion website, weymouthpavilion.com, where you can browse the shows and things going on and buy tickets online. Or you can give the box office a call on 01305 783 225. The Nothe Fort. Pirates of the Nothe Fort running through to tomorrow. Then from the 3rd of June, Monday, the D-Day 80th anniversary exhibition starts. This Thursday, 6th of June, D-Day commemorations, a ticket-only event at the Nothe Fort. So if you haven't got a ticket, unfortunately you won't get in. It is free, but it is a ticketed event. 3rd of August, Songs in the Summer with Wessex Musical Theatre. 15th of August, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And advance notice of Pause for Fort, the dog show and dog event will be back on the 29th of September. For information on all of those, www.knowthatfort.org.uk. Now looking at a selection of Arts Reach, we have got Friday the 7th of June, Rum Ragged at Broadmain Village Hall. 16th of June, Sherlock and Watson and Murder in the Garden at Winterbourne Stickland. Thursday the 1st of August, Love Riot at Ibidon Village Hall. 8th of August, The Story Den Adventures in Storyland at Lytton Cheney Community Hall. Performances all over Dorset, usually in rural community village halls, that sort of thing. But lots of different stuff on throughout Dorset. Always good to sort of take a trip out to somewhere a bit different, to see something a bit different. So pop along to the Arts Reach website, www.artsreach.co.uk, for information on all the programme events that they've got. Now, next Saturday, the 8th of June, the Repair Cafe will be at the Top Club in Louviers Road from 10:30 to 12:30. So anything that you think you've got that needs repairing, take it along. See if they can repair it for you rather than throwing it away and having to buy a new one. There will be guided tours of the gardens at Kingston Moorwood, led by the head gardener, on Friday, June the 14th, and again on Monday the 8th of July. They start at 1:30 p.m. You don't need to book in advance, you just meet at the Animal Park shop at 1:30. The cost of entry to the gardens and the tour included is £7.50. So that's Friday, June the 14th and Monday the 8th of July at 1:30. Now, if you like medieval music, a band of musicians called Courtal Music, I think I've said that right, will be performing at St Nicholas Church, Broadway, on Saturday the 13th of June at 3 p.m. They will be playing music from the courts of Europe through the centuries. So that's 13th of June, 3 p.m, St Nicholas Church, Broadway. And the Wessex Folk Festival that's been on today will return tomorrow on the south side of Weymouth Harbour in the Hope Square area. Lots of entertainment, food stalls, and the stalls open at 10 a.m. and the music will be from 11 a.m. to 5:30. I'm mentioning for the final time, D-Day commemoration events in Wyke, Regis here, an evening to remember on Thursday. That's the 6th of June with beacon lighting, live music, fish and chip shopper, D-Day documentary and church bells. Tickets available online. I think they're just available for one more day now at www.parishofwykeregis.org.uk/events. If you want any more information on that, you can give Jeff Thomas a call, 07710 096174, and the tickets do include a fish and chip supper, as it is National Fish and Chip Day that day, and there is a choice of sausages and fish and pea fritters and all sorts of things, so you can order that online or by calling Jeff. Now, church services in Wyke tomorrow, communion 8 a.m. at All Saints Church the monthly Cafe Church family-friendly, sort of more informal worship at 9:30 and 11 a.m. at St Edmund's Church, Lanehouse. The other programmes that we have coming up for you tonight, our quiz programme, 7:30, free quiz for everyone in the community. Anybody's free to join, family-friendly, community-friendly. 7:30 prompt start. The feeds will be up by 7:20, so you can find the quiz. If you like to follow our monthly gardening programme, the June edition of A Year Gardening with Clive Gray will be up tomorrow at 4 o'clock and will be repeated Friday next week. So there we go, that's it. That brings us to the end of this week's programme. I hope you enjoy the weekend. It's a lovely weekend so far. Let's hope it continues tomorrow. Hope you have a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday. Of course, if you've got any news or events information for us, or even any pictures of anything that you get up to over the D-Day commemorations, do pop them along to us at news@wykeregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. Other than that, I will be back next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Have a good week. Good night.